Hey everybody, it's Mark from Circle the Dark Mother. Today I'm going to do a member-only video called Lilith and Madelyne Pryor, who is from X-Men. Madelyne Pryor. In this member-only video, I'm going to geek out a bit. I'm a huge X-Men fan, and with the release of the new X-Men 97 cartoon on Disney Plus, I have to talk about one of my favorite characters in the X-Men lore, Madelyne Pryor. If you know anything about X-Men comics or movies, you probably know that Jean Grey is one of the founding members of the X-Men that is still around in the comics to this day. Jean is an Omega level, absolutely the highest power level, telepath and telekinetic. Her power is off the scales. In 1976, she also became the host for the Phoenix Force, a cosmic entity of fire and life that saved the universe from a mad alien emperor. The Phoenix Force did go off the rails and turn dark for a period of time, causing mass destruction. To save the universe again, Jean sacrifices herself to stop the Dark Phoenix. After she dies, a woman who looks very much like her pops up named Madelyne Pryor. Scott Summers, or Cyclops, who is in love with Jean, ends up marrying and having a child with Madelyne. After Scott and Madelyne's son Nathan, later he's Cable, is born, it's found that Jean Grey is actually alive. Scott finds out and goes to Jean, abandoning Madelyne and their son. In Jean's defense, she knew nothing about Madelyne. She had no idea that Madelyne even existed, or that Scott had gone off and married somebody. It is then revealed that Madelyne, unknowingly, was a clone of Jean who was created by a supervillain named Mr. Sinister to produce a child that shares Scott and Jean's DNA, not knowing that Jean was still alive. So the supervillain didn't know that. So his best hope of getting a child from their DNA was to create a clone. When Madelyne finds out that not only has her husband left her, but she's a clone, a substitute, she loses her grip on reality and becomes the Goblin Queen. To become the Goblin Queen, she makes a deal with demons from the limbo dimension to gain power. She even tries to sacrifice her own child, Nathan, to gain more power. In the end, Jean and the other X-Men stop the murder, save Nathan, and Madelyne dies. But being a comic book series, Madelyne stays as dead as Jean and is resurrected several times. In a recent X-Men series, Madelyne is beginning to heal and wants to have memories of her son. So she tries to force Jean Grey to give her the memories of Nathan growing up. Madelyne is unsuccessful, but Jean, being the hero she is, shares the memories willingly with Madelyne. She even tells Madelyne that she's family. Even though Madelyne has a redemption arc, briefly creates her own team called Dark X-Men, she is still very much her own person. She has finally realized that she will never be Jean Grey, and that's okay. She's Madelyne, ruler of Limbo. It's easy to see the parallels here between Madelyne and Lilith. She is the discarded wife who is completely abandoned. She has no idea who she is supposed to be, so she chooses a path that causes herself harm. In the end, she realizes that who she is pretty great and finds her redemption and healing, even becoming an anti-hero. I personally love the story of Madelyne Pryor, the Goblin Queen, because she is a very multidimensional character who isn't just a simple villain. She is a person who is hurt, abandoned, and almost destroyed, but she finds her way to be her true self. And she's very, very much like Lilith. I'm sure the writers took Lilith as inspiration. So hopefully you enjoyed that. If you're not a big X-Men fan, hopefully still just the story was interesting. Thank you. Take care.